Hey, you guys, we are here. We apologize. We had a little technical issue, but we have our guests here. Thank you for coming to our channel. We appreciate you taking out your time because I know you're busy and everything. We appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me. I love meeting people like you and sharing information.
Yes, thank you. I love the information you share, but I want to kind of introduce you. Um,
Okay.
Edith is a vegan health coach, and she's here to help you guys to improve your health. And also, she share a lot of great information on Instagram. She have ebooks and all of the recipes. Like, oh my gosh, a lot of amazing recipes. You guys check the link tree down in the description. You can find all of her information down there. And Edith, welcome to my YouTube channel. Uh,
Thank you. I'm honored to be here.
Thank you. Wow. I'm excited. I'm always excited because I'm always learning, learning something and
Yeah, it's fun.
raising.
It's really fun.
Yes, yes, I'm loving it. So, what was your, like, I ask people, as I'm led, how did your childhood begin? Like, what was you eating? What was your eating habits? Was you eating healthy or the American Standard Diet or
I
something?
love that you start with asking about the childhood because that's essentially the foundation for everyone's health. So it's really important. I was born in Hungary. And this was back when the Soviet Union ruled our country.
Hmm.
So we had a lot of limitations at that time. But that meant that a lot of people grew their own food. So a lot of people didn't have money to go and buy groceries. And we had limitations at that time. We were a communist country, so we had limitations in terms of what we could purchase and how much money we had. So my parents had a garden and they grew their own food, which was very beneficial for me at that time. And then they also had animals. I also was getting to witness how that took place. And unfortunately, I did witness animals getting slaughtered. And that was kind of like the imprint, the initial imprint for me in terms of seeing, how meat came to the plate and how that impacted those beings and the suffering that it came with. So even though I had like amazing organic produce that my parents grew, I also was still consuming animal products. Hungary is very meat and dairy heavy.
Hmm.
They're like an Eastern European country that still incorporates those foods, and that's still kind of the main staple, unfortunately. So I did have that in my initial upbringing, but everything changed a lot because we immigrated. First, we went to Austria, then we came to the US. So there was a lot of moving around, and so the food sources changed throughout the periods of movement. And when we came to the US, my parents had to take on multiple jobs because they were immigrants. Obviously, they didn't speak English. So it was a harder situation economically. Well, I guess it was hard back in Hungary as well. But anyway, we they weren't able to like have the garden and raise the animals and all of that for a substantial amount of time once we were in the States. So I was like any other kid, you know, going to school and getting the processed foods. And when I was a teenager, I went out to lunch with my friends. And of course, we frequented the McDonald's, the Taco Bell, like all of the horrible food choices that are out there. And so I also had that as part of my growing up in terms of the food that was fed to me as a child. So, kind of a mix of everything.
Hmm. That sounds like how I grew up too.
Yeah.
So yes, it's pretty much the same thing. Wow. So what, like, how did you become vegan? Was there, or plant based? Was there some type of illness that you was healing, or like, how did you get here with eating plant?
So I've always been, for some reason, I've always had this internal calling about pertaining to health and wellness and nutrition. It was always interesting to me. And so I would always gravitate towards books and magazines that were featuring that kind of content. So I would read that in my spare time,
Mhm.
and it was a lot of information, a lot of fun, but I didn't know exactly what to do with it. It was just something I was gravitating towards.
Mhm.
And then when I was about 30, I started having some digestive issues. And so I did go to the doctor at that time. I was eating an omnivore diet. And they told me that I had an ulcer, and even though I didn't, and they gave me some prescription drugs
Mhm.
and sent me on my way. And I was a little bit dumbfounded, and I felt like, this can't be. Like, am I going to have to be taking these prescription drugs for the rest of my life? And do I really have an ulcer? You know, they didn't really do any testing, so it was really odd, the whole situation. And so then I went to a naturopathic doctor, and we went through an elimination test. And so it came to be that I couldn't digest certain foods like eggs and dairy products. And so I went ahead and I eliminated those and immediately had relief. But I kept meat, and I didn't really eat fish. I was always kind of grossed out by fish, but I kept some meat products in my diet, even though I didn't really love them. Like, I never really enjoyed eating meat.
Mhm.
Um, I kept them in just because everyone was saying you needed them. Like, all the functional medicine doctors were even saying, oh, you need grass fed beef, you need pasture raised eggs and pork and wild caught salmon and all of these things. And so I kept those in minimal doses, but I always enjoyed like plant based foods. And as I was working with the naturopathic doctor on improving my health, I started researching more on my own, because obviously they are limited in terms of the time that they're able to spend with you. So I wanted to further my education, and because I had that interest, that intuitive like calling towards this health and wellness topic, it was fun for me to research. And through the research, I found the Institute for Integrative Nutrition.
Mhm.
And through that, I was introduced to a ton of different modalities and different ways of eating. And when I came across the vegan doctors, I found the China study. And I loved that book because it was like the first time I received the green light to get all of the animal products out of my diet.
Mhm.
And I went vegan overnight after that, because that book is the largest epidemiological study that's ever been conducted, to my knowledge, still to this day. And
Mhm.
it shows direct causation in terms of these lifestyle diseases such as cancer when animal proteins are introduced to the diet. And then they also go on to show when those animal proteins are taken out, that the cancer then starts to reverse itself. So that was like what I needed. And then I made the shift overnight. And that was maybe like 6, 7 years ago.
Wow, that's amazing. That's a beautiful story.
Oh,
How how you got there. It's amazing that we have to sometimes experience, pain or suffering in the body, and then it causes us to like, wait, something is wrong. What? Why? Why food? When I eat certain foods, I feel this way or that way.
Mhm.
It causes us to go and check and see what is really going on, and not because what a doctor said, or some nutrition. I'm just saying, if it's not fitting you, you had to go check for yourself. Like, no, I'm not going. No, you didn't even examine me properly. Like,
Yeah,
give me pills, you know. So yeah, that's good
yeah,
to have your own, to check yourself. And I
yeah.
always say, listen to your body because it speaks to you.
Yeah, it definitely does.
Yes. So who inspires you?
Who inspires me?
Yes.
Um, I mostly get inspired by spiritual teachers.
Hmm.
So I feel like I already have the understanding I need in terms of the nutrition.
Hmm.
And I don't necessarily feel like I need to research more in that realm. It's more about just being consistent and continuing to make improvements. But I feel like I already have that knowledge like pretty dialed in. So I'm inspired by people who share about our connection with the divine, people who live their life in accordance with that, people who are, fulfilling their higher calling
Hmm.
and walking an authentic life, and people who help and uplift others, because that's what we need to do in this day and age. We have to uplift and help one another because we are all connected.
Hmm.
Um, so it's really important, to find those people who can help us get to our next best
Yeah.
self.
Hmm. Yes, I agree with that. Yes. What is some of the misconceptions about uh, eating? You're raw or you're plant based, high raw. I think you high raw. Am I correct?
Yeah, yeah. I'm mostly raw, like 80 to 90%.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I feel my best this way, and I'm in a hot climate. This is why I'm like continuing to mess with my hair. I'm in Florida. Oh my gosh,
Me
it's like
too. I'm in
wild.
Florida too.
Oh, you are? Oh my gosh, I don't even know what to do with my hair at this point.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's like so humid and hot, so it's really easy to eat mostly raw, especially in the summer. Like I start the day with lemon water, celery juice. I make a second juice, sometimes a third juice. I
Mhm.
have a smoothie, sometimes two smoothies. And then I usually have like a dinner salad.
Mhm.
And sometimes that's fully raw with a homemade raw dressing. And
Mhm.
then sometimes I incorporate steamed vegetables just because I enjoy them. They taste so good. Like there's a few vegetables I enjoy eating more when they're steamed.
Mhm.
And those are like broccoli, carrots, potatoes, Brussels sprouts, sweet potatoes. Um, yeah, so I like to have those occasionally. Sometimes I have beans, sometimes I have quinoa, but that's kind of all that I have in terms of the cooked food realm nowadays.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I definitely feel better keeping it raw for sure.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm the same way.
Yeah.
Yes. So, what makes you excited about the way you eat?
Oh my gosh, it's so exciting. I love this question. So it's exciting because the food that we eat is connected to nature. It's connected to the divine, right?
Mhm.
So food is here not just for our enjoyment, but it's to give us life force energy. Produce, when it's grown, it is grown with the energy coming from the sun, coming from the earth, coming from the rain, the water. These are all elements that are infusing our food, and everything is energy, right? And so there's energy coming from all of these natural sources.
Hmm.
And this energy is what I like to refer to as life force energy. So there's light frequencies that are present in whole plant foods,
Hmm.
especially when you consume them relatively close to the time that they were harvested. So you don't want to wait too long, because once you pluck a produce item from that connection, like from the earth, from the branch, from the tree, it's
Hmm.
losing that connection from its life force. So the light is going to start to distinguish slightly, which is why raw food is more healing and more nutritious, because there's more of that light frequency. And I feel like not enough people talk about this. So it's not just
Hmm.
about the vitamins and the enzymes, it's about the light and the food.
Yes.
And to me, that's so exciting, because
Yes.
I'm infusing my body with those magical energies, right? So if you can think
Yes.
about it, yeah, if you can think about it in these terms of like infusing your physiology with these magical light codes, these life force energy frequencies, in
Mhm.
addition to the vitamins, the minerals, the enzymes, the antioxidants, the polyphenols, it's a magical experience to think about, rather than going to the store and getting something out of a box or a can like it's dead. There is no light in there.
That's right.
So yeah, so if you think about it, like you want to, from we're alive in while we're in these bodies, so you
Mhm.
want to put life into the body if you want to receive life back. So if we put dead energy, like from boxes and cans or from dead animals, into our physiology, that's only going to add, that energy or the lack of energy into
Mhm.
our bodies. And so it's going to shorten the lifespan, because, again, while we're alive, we need life, we need light, we need frequency, we need energy. And that's only present in plant foods.
That's right. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Nothing like eating living food. It just it's amazing. It just make you feel amazing, energetic. Like I literally run around, whatever I do. And it's the food that it's living, it's living
Yeah.
for our living bodies. I mean, like I don't want nothing else.
Yeah, it's amazing, especially when you can grow your own.
Yes.
When you can grow your own, then you're putting your own frequency and your own energy into it. And if you're not able to do that, I always share that you can just sprout or grow microgreens,
Yes.
which is what I do because I'm in an apartment setting.
Mhm.
So that's another way that you can impact the food that you're eating. And to me, that's exciting. That's exciting because I get to control what goes into my body.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I love when it's fall weather because we have a garden and I just love to go out and get the garden going and also growing my own microgreens. It's so beautiful and knowing that it's fresh, you freshly pick the tomato and it's just perfect, and the collards and the greens it's just so much better.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so too.
What is your since you're in Florida, what is your favorite tropical fruit that you have tasted so
Well,
far?
I want to say, I shared, I'm obviously not a native Floridian, so I've only been here like
Oh,
a year and a half.
uh-huh.
But I go to the farmer's market every Saturday.
Hmm.
And oh my gosh, I love like the mini bananas. I
Oh,
love, obviously, the pitayas, the dragon fruits. I've tried things that I've never tried before, like mame sapote,
yes.
um, what is it, egg fruit.
Yes.
Um, I don't know the names of all of them, but I try to try something new every so often. Oh, I love passion fruit and guava.
Mm,
Those are here. Um, where are you located in Florida?
Miami.
Oh, is it better over there?
Yes, we grow a lot of fruit here on our property,
Mhm.
and plus my husband bring a lot. Like we have like five mame, mammy, I call them. Can you grab one for me? please. And the little small bananas, like it's
Oh,
like
those are so good. Oh my gosh.
yes,
When
yes,
you blend those in smoothies, they are creamier, is what I've
right.
noticed.
Yes, and like it makes it more thicker, but like we have like
Ooh.
yeah, they're not ready yet, but I love the tropical fruits.
Yeah, I do too.
Mhm.
Right now, I'm loving melons. I'm eating like a watermelon a day.
Mhm.
So right now, I'm not doing any cooked food just because it's so hot and my body is just really craving the raw food.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, but I love the tropical fruit for sure.
Yes, you named a lot of them that I love, and passion fruit is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Yes. So you already told us what you eat in a day, but what is your favorite food that you like? Is it a salad, fruits? Which one is, or your
I
dress?
think I think a smoothie is my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
A smoothie because and I love so many. Like I have a ton of them on rotation that I have, and I feel like smoothies never get boring
Mm-hmm.
because there's endless combinations.
Yes.
I don't even like giving smoothie recipes because it's kind of like an intuitive thing, like you use whatever greens you have,
Mm-hmm.
you use whatever fruit you have, you add superfoods, so they're all going to be different, and they're just so satisfying. Oh my gosh, like yeah, I think smoothies are my favorite. I love the medical medium heavy metal detox smoothie every day if I can.
Mm-hmm.
And then I like to have like one of my own as well. In addition to that, I think I could live on smoothies. I think I'm gonna create a smoothie cleanse ebook next.
Oh, that would be great. That would be great.
Yeah,
Wow. Yeah, I love smoothies because you can just carry them with you, you know.
yeah, that's another thing. They're really portable. Yeah.
Yes. 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 Um, why do you love what you do? Because I know you do consultations, right?
Yes.
Coaching, you have your ebooks, you just full of wisdom here. So why do you love doing what you do?
Oh my gosh, I love doing what I do because I see the state of the world and what people are dealing with,
Hmm.
and I want to help them. Like
Hmm.
it's really funny. It's sad and funny at the same time. I want to go up to everybody I see, and help them when I see them in pain because it's like the suffering nowadays is really wild to me. Like almost everybody has some sort of lifestyle disease or chronic illness,
Hmm.
or at least they have like the precursors, the symptoms leading up to it.
Hmm.
And I love what I do because I feel like I have the ability to help them. And that when I can do that, that's the most fulfilling feeling I've ever experienced. To be able to have someone see the light, to have someone see that they are in control of their health and it's not dependent on their doctor, the prescription drugs, the surgeries, and that they have the ability to make the choices that they need in order to thrive in their physical bodies. That's the best feeling
Yeah.
ever. And so I really love to help people and to share the information with them and to even show them. Like, if I have an in person client, I'm going to show them everything I know in their kitchen. And that is so fun for me. It's really fun to do that. And I also love to share, in addition to the foods, I like to um, help the person learn more about themselves or at least guide them. So when I work with someone, I look at their Ayurvedic body constitution, I look at their human design and their digestion type in human design,
Hmm.
and I even look at their astrological chart because all of that plays a role um, in terms of how I can help them succeed. And so everyone, everyone I believe can thrive on a vegan diet and even on a raw diet. However, every constitution is different, and every person's energy type is different, and everybody's viral load and toxin load is different.
Right.
And so I like to base my recommendations on the individual in all of these aspects. So, for example, somebody might do better eating every 2 hours small meals, whereas somebody else might do better with just two larger meals. And then somebody else might need some more earthing foods, so foods that come from the ground, whereas somebody else might need more foods that grow from a tree, depending on their constitution and energy type. And so it's really fun for me to put all of the pieces of the puzzle together, and to give somebody like a very personalized approach, um, because I don't think you can find that, just by Googling. I mean, you can if you spend a ton of time and you know what you're doing, and you can put all the pieces together, but you can't like type in "give me a raw vegan meal plan," customized to me, and get what you need. And so it's really fun and fulfilling for me to show people all of these different aspects of themselves, and to help them to understand that all of these different aspects are going to govern how their body is going to respond to the foods, and what food combinations and meal times work best for them. And so it's very fun. It's never boring, and it's very fulfilling when I can help someone with that.
Wow, this is different. It sounds very interesting.
Yeah, yeah, it's fun. It's really fun.
Wow. The zodiacs, you know, I just saw something like that yesterday. So here you speaking about it.
Oh,
Uh,
synchronicity.
yeah, it's like, okay, I'm listening. I'm
Yeah.
listening. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Do you eat? I don't know why I print this. I even print up the the questions.
You can ask me anything you want.
Do you eat? Like how much fat do you eat, and what types of fats do you eat?
This is another good question. So this again depends on the body constitution, and this also depends on your viral load, your toxin load, if you have any kind of symptoms, or conditions. Um, Generally speaking, it's good for everyone to keep the fats low, um, just because, the nature of the body, how it works. So if there's a lot of fat in the meal, um, let me back up. Our body needs glucose for energy. We need carbohydrates for energy. So glucose comes from carbohydrates. The best and most preferred source for the body is going to be fruit. Um, and of course vegetables, as well, but fruit's going to provide more. And so just by knowing that, and then knowing how the glucose enters the cells, so you need to be able to produce the hormone insulin in order to allow the glucose, to enter the cells. Now, if there is too much fat in the meal, that gets in the way of the insulin being able to open up that door for the glucose to enter the cell. And so you are not able to absorb that energy readily. So I'm sure you've had an experience where you've had a high fat meal. I know I have, and you kind of feel like you have to lay down. It's because all of that is being suspended in the blood, and it's not getting to the cells. You're not able to produce the ATP for energy. And so you have to wait. You have to wait for the fat to get out of the way. An analogy I always give to clients is, think about it like this, like you're on a freeway and you're in a compact car and you're the carbohydrate, but there's all of these semi trucks in the way. Those are the fats. and they're blocking you. Like, you can't get to where you need to be. You're trying to get to your exit, but all of these semi trucks are there. So you're sitting there, you're getting angry and agitated, and so you can't get to where you need to get, and you're not feeling good, right? And so you got to wait for those semi trucks to get out of the way so you can get off your exit. And that's what's going on in the body. And this is a huge problem because not only is it a precursor to diabetes if you constantly have insulin resistance going on, if there's too much fat in the meal, in the bloodstream, but also you're going to lose out on the antioxidants that are in the meal, because those antioxidants can only get to the cells with the glucose. And so they're being suspended in the bloodstream. And the longer they're doing that, they're being oxidized as time goes on. And so they're going to lose their potency. And you spent, I don't know, $20 on the beautiful produce, right? And to build your salad. And all of that's going to waste because you can't absorb the nutrients when there's too much fat. And not enough people talk about this. And so generally speaking, it's good for everyone to keep the fats low. And I mean low, like at least 20% or less. And then after that, it's going to depend on the individual. So my body constitution is Kapha in Ayurveda, and we need to keep the fats the lowest. So we are the curviest, the biggest body constitution. So we are not naturally thin. And so this body type, we have to keep the fats low, and we have to have like a lot of energizing components in our meals. Whereas somebody else with like the leaner body type or the more muscular body type, so Vata is the lean type, Pitta is like the more muscular medium type, they can get away with a little more fat if they are healthy. However, if they are dealing with some sort of lifestyle disease or have some kind of symptoms or conditions, then they also need to keep the fats low because it means that their body's already being taxed. The liver is already being taxed. And in order for the body to break down fat, the liver has to be strong because the liver has to produce bile to break down those fats. And so if the liver is already weakened because you're seeing signs of some sort of lifestyle disease, and that can be like a wide range of things. It could even be as simple as acne. That means your liver's already compromised. Okay, so those people also have to keep the fats low because the liver is like the star. Like if the liver is not optimal, if it's not healthy, you are going to have a lot harder time digesting a higher fat meal. So it's going to depend on the individual, but you want to keep the fats as low as possible. And obviously feel your body. Your body will speak to you. Like if your energy is good, then your fat ratio is good. If your energy is down, you're probably consuming too much fat. So for me, with my body constitution, I feel best when I save my fats for dinner time. So I don't put any fat in my smoothies. There might be like a gram or two if I'm using like my Sun Warrior vegan protein powders. And there's also going to be like tiny like partial grams in the produce. Most people don't know, but produce has fat as well. I mean, obviously people know avocado has fat, but even spinach has fat. Like every kind of produce item has a little bit of fat. So you're going to get some no matter what, but I don't add any overt fats. And overt fat is like a solid fat, like an avocado, a nut, or a seed, like a food that macronutrient is predominantly made up of fat. So those I save till dinner. So I don't consume nuts or seeds or avocados until dinner time, unless I'm not in control of my food. Like if I'm traveling, well, even then I'm in control, but like if you go to someone's house and they're serving you and you don't want to be rude or that sort of thing.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, so I generally have no overt fats until dinner, and it's usually either a half of an avocado in the salad or nuts or seeds, like a third of a cup blended in my salad dressing,
Mhm.
and that's generally how I feel my best.
Okay. So, what types of fat would you like the tier of like what's the greatest and then what's the you know not so great fats?
Yeah. I think the best one would be avocado. So it's very easy for the body to digest avocado and to break down those fats. And that makes logical sense because avocado is hydrating. It has moisture. It has water content, whereas like nuts or seeds are dry. Which is why you want to soak your nuts or seeds. If you're going to use nuts or seeds, you need to soak them before you consume them. Um, so I would say avocado is the best, and then I would say like organic raw nuts or seeds would be next best. I like to use cashews. They're lower in fat. They have a lot of micronutrients, and I like them in terms of recipe making because they are kind of like a blank canvas. They don't have much of a flavor or a taste on their own,
Mhm.
so you can infuse them with herbs and spices and make the dressing really delicious without that like aftertaste or that hint of like real nutty flavor, which sometimes you get with other nuts.
Yes.
Um, so I really like cashews, seeds, any kind of seed. I like hemp seeds, flax seeds, sesame seeds.
Mhm.
These are all really great, but you want to get these nuts or seeds raw. If you get them roasted, they are going to be void of nutrients. They're not going to be health promoting anymore. So you definitely want to make sure that the nuts or seeds are raw. In terms of like fats that I wouldn't recommend oils, um,
Mhm.
just because they are very, very high in fat. I don't have the number memorized, but it's significantly more fat than like a tablespoon. It's going to be a lot more fat versus a tablespoon of solid nuts. And a lot of the oils are a lot of the seed oils are bad for you, like canola oil. Like if I ever ingest it, I know because I'll have like stomach cramping almost immediately.
Mhm.
Um, and so you want to stay away from like canola, sunflower, safflower. Those are kind of all of the negative seed oils, I would say. If you're gonna consume oil, you can consume coconut, avocado, and olive in small amounts. And again, this would be better for the vata and the pitta constitutions than the kapha constitutions in terms of Ayurveda. Um, and if you're gonna consume them, so obviously in small amounts, and try to get as high quality as possible. Um, you know, in terms of which one would be best, I would say olive would be probably the best for antioxidants. Um, and you want to make sure it's like in a dark glass bottle so it's not oxidized,
Mhm.
um, and that there's no other additives. The other reason I really don't like oils is you just don't know what these companies are putting in there.
Mhm.
I don't trust a lot of the manufacturing going on. I've learned recently that there's additives that aren't even listed on the nutrition facts label,
Wow.
and so it's scary out there. You got to be real careful with anything that comes with like a label in a box or a can or a bottle because these manufacturers cannot be trusted.
I know. Wow. Wow. This is so informative. It's like you can come, I can sit around you all day.
Yeah, it's fun.
Right.
I love talking about these things.
Me too. That's why I like to do these videos, these live. I mean, I'll sit and talk for hours. because I love doing this. I love doing this. Wow. You have given us some great information here. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's my pleasure.
This is my 12-year-old. Give me a thumbs up.
Oh, hi.
Wow.
Hi.
Wow. Okay. Um, wow. What is the legacy that you would love to leave behind? Um, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Um, my dream is to have like a wellness center someday.
Hmm.
Um, I would love to create a space where people can go and have all of their health and wellness needs met under one roof.
Hmm.
I mean, obviously, I would love for there to be multiple wellness centers all around the world and for everyone to start educating themselves and making better choices for themselves on their own. But I would love to have like my own space where I can share like all of this kind of information in more intimate settings, one on one with people, in classes with people. I would love to invite other speakers in. I would love to have like different body work practitioners, energy healers, um, all of that stuff because all of this is so important. We need resources and places where people can go for total body healing, mind, body, and soul approach.
Hmm.
Whereas I feel like right now we have to go like to all of these different places, like 20 different places to get all of your needs met. I
Hmm.
think it would be fascinating and so fulfilling and so rewarding and amazing for the collective to have places like this available, where you can go and order a high vibrational, uplifting, healing meal. And then you can also go another room down and learn how to make the meal.
Yeah.
And then you can learn more about the energetics of the food, um, and then you can go and receive healing on your body. I mean, that would just be incredible. So that would be the legacy I would like to leave is yeah, empowering people, and educating people, and showing people like how to best care for themselves while they're on this planet, because you can only be the best version of yourself if you are healthy yourself. If
Hmm.
you're constantly battling some kind of an ailment, whether it's high blood pressure or psoriasis or endometriosis or whatever it is, you're constantly going to have that in the back of your mind. You're constantly going to be preoccupied with managing those symptoms. It's going to impact you on an energetic and vibrational level. You're not going to be able to show up as your best self.
Hmm.
And because we're all connected, that's not just going to impact you, it's going to impact your spouse, your family, your friends, your loved ones. It's
Hmm.
going to have a ripple effect on everybody. And the same is true when you're healthy and vibrant and happy and full of joy and love for life.
Hmm.
And so that's also going to have a ripple effect. So I would love to leave a legacy that votes for that. I want to influence that. I want to help people rise up and create a better earth, because we have so many problems. We have so many problems here, um, that people think are not related to health, like the economic crisis or whatever it is. But
Hmm.
at the core of it all, it is related to health, because everything is energy and we are all connected. And so, if we get to the root cause of our own healing, our own pain and suffering, and address that, and if everyone does that,
Hmm.
if everyone does that, then would we have these types of problems? I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it.
It'll be way less, way
Yep.
less. It'll be more love, shared, and people wouldn't be ill. Like you say, they wouldn't be in pain and being angry and, agitated. And
Hmm.
wow, that's beautiful. I think you probably the third person have mentioned about a retreat, having a place to for people to go heal. And I believe that's the type of people being that I asked to come on this channel is people that really wants to help people. And that's the only people that I want to come on this channel that really wants to help people. And I thank you for your time. I really do.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure and my honor to be here.
Thank you so much. Do you have any last remarks that you would like to share with us?
I would like to say,
She giving you a heart.
oh, thank you. I would just like to say, if you're listening, um, just take whatever resonated with you. Just take that with you. And if this was a lot, if this was a lot of new information, don't get overwhelmed. Just find like the one thing that resonated and take that and start implementing whatever that is into your own routine and start building from there. So it can feel overwhelming and daunting for people when they realize they have to make a lot of changes in their lives, but it doesn't have to be like that. You can just pick one thing at a time and build on it. And once you pick that one thing and you implement it, you're going to be supported. So we're not alone in these lives. We have guidance, we have support, and there are energies working on our behalf. And when they see that you are taking control of your health, that you're choosing better for yourself, that you are committed to healing yourself, then another thing is going to come up that's going to make it easier. You're going to be supported, and then that other thing is going to be the second step. You're going to build on these blocks. So just focus on one thing at a time, and just know in your heart that that one thing is okay to start with, and you will be supported along your healing journey, and you will be able to build on that. And before you know it, you would have made 5 or 6 changes in the next couple of weeks, and you're feeling better in your body. And then once you're feeling better in your body, it's a lot easier to make the other changes. It's just hard to think about making all of the changes when you're not feeling good, when you feel low energy. And so just know that that's going to shift for you. That's going to change for you. When you step into your power and you start taking care of yourself, you're going to have so much more energy in your physical body, and you're going to be able to make the other changes to improve the quality of your life. So it doesn't matter where you are currently today. Just know that you have the power within you to improve the quality of your life. And all you have to do is have enough love for yourself to start making these changes. And that love for yourself is going to grow throughout this process. It's going to make it so much easier. And you're going to meet other people on this path. And it's going to be fun and fulfilling. There's going to be synchronicities. And who knows, maybe you're going to get to help others and you're going to get to impact their lives. So just start with where you are, implement one thing that you feel like is within your grasp, and start making that change. So the small thing could be every morning you get up and you have 24 ounces of lemon water. And then after you've done that periodic or for maybe 5, 6, 7 days, then after that, maybe you can start meditating or stretching or walking or whatever that next step is. And you don't have to ask me or worry about it. It's going to reveal itself to you. Whatever that next natural step is for you, it's going to come. Yes. And so just trust that. Just have love and trust for yourself and the process.
Yes. Well said. Wow. She's giving you thumbs up over here. Wow, thank you so much, Edie. I appreciate you again. I hope we can get you back on here. Oh my,
Yeah, I'd love to.
You're just dropping these nuggets down here. I mean, we'll appreciate it.
I'd love to, and the next time I won't have the technical difficulties.
Yeah, okay. This was well worth the wait. I mean, you really shared a lot of great things. I appreciate you again. And thank you again.
Thank you.
So we're gonna end here. If you want, this is what I say on my to my YouTube family.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for watching, and 1,000 roses to you. Remember to love yourself first because you're worth it. Take care.